Hello everyone, Zerda back again with another Team Top Deck testing video. Today, let's see what we'll be playing. So, I have a new deck here, still highly experimental. I'm thinking of trying to get something that'll be able to deal with both Fires and Loris decks, as well as Wreck decks. And thinking about that led me to something with Mortify and Ethereal Absolution just being kind of powerful. A side note there, but it's a little bit of Grave Hate with things like Blood Operative, which I've always thought is fairly good, just a little, it needs the right kind of meta to exist. Like, it's a good hate card is what I'm trying to get at. It's good at gaining you life, just kind of acting like a 3-mana removal spell in a way. And being a little bit of Grave Hate, I feel is pretty relevant right now with all the Uros and such, and the cats especially running around. Ballista Bellhaunt, just kind of a good grindy card. I don't have many better options. Kaya being good at the Grave Hate aspect and being able to cut off, that kind of a game plan. Really what I'm missing here is I'm not seeing the card advantage engine I want. I would be playing more Kunaros, but I am fairly strapped for wild cards, so this is still in its budget incarnation, although it is once again not very budget this time. As you can see, just, my budget, not budget. There's Heartless Act is just a fairly good removal spell for red decks, and, well, basically anything but 2 mana for the red decks, otherwise I'd be on more Mortify and Agonizing Remorse, because it's, once again, just kind of, you need to interact with things like Reclamation or Fires before they can come down and start absolutely taking over the game. But once I figure out, what I want for my card advantage engine, I feel this deck will really have some more wins. So, let's take it into the queue today, and, well, not the queue, this isn't Magic Online. Let's take this into ranked and see how it fares. And don't worry about me coughing, that's not the virus, that is just the effects of having lived in a smoker's household for most of my life. It is not very pleasant. Alright, so here we go, opponent going first. If we draw a lot more lands, this is good, so I'm going to have to go ahead and say this is a mulligan, because of the amount of lands we need. Alright, now this one I'm a much bigger fan of. I wish we could keep the Absolution, but it doesn't look like we're against at least a Luris deck, where this will basically end their entire game plan of, infinite cat recursion, and really blunt any kind of assault they could get going. They do have a lot of X2s, but the -1/-1 really blunts their plan. However, it's more of a card we want to draw in the late game, not the early. Wouldn't be opposed to another black source to get the Bellhaunt online, though. Moss Viper. Just a little confused here. I'll play a Plains in case they're considering Agonizing Remorse as an option. Gives them the least information on my play next turn possible. Red green. Well, the mystery ends now. And they are Gruul. See? Block, deal damage to a player, destroy their artifact or enchantment. We have a couple of those. I feel like I'd rather take the bigger threat, but that doesn't exactly tell me which one this is. I'll take the Living Twister so they don't have a play next turn, in case we draw something we want to do next turn. And then on turn 4, it doesn't line up quite well if they do draw the extra land, because we'd want to play our Bellhaunt instead of killing their guy, but so be it. I think we'll still play the Bellhaunt regardless. Yeah? I guess they might have that to some kind of, oh no, it does line up perfectly actually. So he was hoping to draw the land. Like, if they have a way to give it trample, this card makes sense. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. I never want to assume that my opponent's just on a bad deck, because that can very easily come back to bite you. And I play a lot of questionable things myself that occasionally will pan out quite nicely. Maybe there's a fight spell I'm not thinking of. It's pretty good. Alright, let's get some Hellbent here and gain a little bit of life back. Sadly, we've hit the part of the game where the second Bellhaunt's not going to be anything except a 3-4 life gain. Alright. So here, I think I just want to drop a Seraph of the Scales. Obviously, leaving open a black in case it's some kind of a pump. Not a white. I don't imagine I'm going to want to give it Vigilance on their turn. Could always be wrong, but, you know, just not something that's on my radar. Alright. And what did you draw, opponent? And let's go ahead and give it Death Touch. There's that deals damage too. It's not fights, that's right. Alright, so Dahmer's Ambush I thought was a fight spell. My mistake there. Right, so I can still kill the Gruul Rampager. I believe 3, 4, 5, and they won't kill all my creatures. Sounds like a deal. And this isn't as bad of a trade as it looks, given that, you know, my opponent did end up... Okay, why would I... Come on, Arena. It's not how I'd want to tap. I might want to put a counter on that blast on there. I'm going to go ahead and just exile their 1-drop.
Glad to be here. Your problem?
Hit them for
I'm gonna
1.
make myself scarce.
And then I'm going to start picking up that Kyle. Which is also pretty good for life gain. Pretty good against mono red, both removal and life gain. Right, now there's something that I didn't consider. I should have had that card on my radar. It's just a good Gruul card. I wouldn't have attacked if I'd considered it. But, you know, you don't always think as much as you should. Normally I get in some warm-up rounds, and today I just did not. Alright, so here, I think I'm going to risk it for the power of getting a clock down. No, there's no reason to risk it. I'm going to block off their assault, gain some life, hit them for 1 again. Next turn I'll play the Davriel, start pinging them for 2 a turn. Davriel just kind of played, say, a slower but more effective, not more effective, how do you put it? A, hits more cards version of Mind Drop. Hey, am I going to strand them with a card in their hand? It's a shame. Oh no, that's actually some cool synergy. With all of their, what do you call it? Riot? Yeah, Riot guys. Right, so, once again, showing it does not know how I want to tap. I would like to leave my options open, Arena.
I do hope this mask is intimidating enough.
Whatever you say, Davriel.
Struggling?
Davriel is, a little ferocious there. Right, so, yep, putting the counter on. I'll go ahead and block the Zerta and kill the other. Or nothing. Alright, excellent. Another land there means that all of our cards are on run. I'll attack with one in case of Cruel Spellbreaker. Hit them for another 2. Alright, Davriel is really channeling my energy here. Alright, let's see. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and blow up the blast zone, kill both their dudes. They get a counter. Alright, excellent. Maximum value. Still get to keep up my Heartless Act. Full attack.
All I've left you is pain.
Oh man, I wish Davriel had been better and returned the good game to my opponent. Alright. I wonder if there's a card that gives a haste counter for Ozolith. I feel like that would be one of the things that would, no, because you'd rather play that card than Ozolith. I don't know. It's such a strangely powerful card if you have the right build. Like, I've seen a lot of Steel Overseer builds, Steel Overseer Umori builds, that do some fairly wacky stuff with it. And then eventually you just have to kill every ginger brute you see on sight, or you will be very, very much dead. Alright, and what are you doing? What are we playing against now? Obosh the Prey Piercer. Alright. Well, we have a Wrath, we have an Absolution, so their 1-drops will be cut off. The Mortify, this is a bit slow, but we have the Wrath to catch back up before the Umori, and a Mortify if we desperately need to do it a turn before. Alright, I'm willing to see where this goes. Alright, lead on a Fabled Passage ourselves. I wasn't expecting Abzan. Then again, you do just kind of want another card. Gilded Goose. Really good in an odd mana cost deck. Considering it takes you from your turn 1 all the way up to your turn 3 play. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna grab a Swamp here. Play a Flames on my turn. Next turn, if I need some pressure, I'll play the Blood Operative, or if I need a blocker. I am fairly concerned and confused by what is going on here.
Let's try this.
Alright. Well, I think this qualifies as needs some pressure. I will decline. I think the opponent likes our tech or is making fun of us. Kinda hard to tell when it's arena and, you know, you don't have chat.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Sure you aren't, Teferi. You know, you used to be my favorite character in Magic before you started breaking Magic. Right, there's a Golos. So they're gonna be some kind of absurd value deck. I'm probably gonna want to deal with the Golos before they can use its ability, but at the same time, I don't want to preemptively Kaya's Wrath. I think I might just be on Kaya's Wrath next turn anyway, though. I don't want them to get out of hand with it. No reach, though? Alright. Seraph of the Scales changes that, giving me a way to answer to Fairy and have some leftover bodies post Kaya's Wrath. Makes me a little less hesitant on deploying a threat first. Thing is, I do want to start attacking their hand before it isn't relevant. Oof, Beanstalk Giant. Opponent is doing some big mana plays over there. Uh-oh. Alright, if you see a Kethis, you know nothing good's gonna happen to you, so time for me to be wary. Alright, looks like we will get to kill the Teferi.
Don't worry, I got this.
There's no way we're blocking that, Golos. So here, take down Teferi. Oh yeah, that's right. Goose. So, they only have 2 cards left in hand. I'm gonna hold off on the plan of deploying the Kaiser, but that is legendary. They need to exile 2 legendary spells, 2 cards left in hand, trying to figure out the way to get the most value from both Bellhawk and the rest of my hand here. I think it involves dealing with the Golos now, before they can start using it, and playing a Swamp. The reason I'm not too concerned about the Kethis is, once again, they don't have enough legendaries in their graveyard to deal with it. I'm very happy if our opponent goes ahead and bounces our Seraph, sacking the Teferi here. Ooh. Oh boy. That's not something I was expecting. Suppose I should have been. They are ramping hard into max value. Do anything else? Death Touch Lifelink 5/5. So at least it's only a Death Touch Lifelink 5/5 now. Of course, if they mutate anything else onto it, that could be fairly scary. Especially since it's also a Kethis. So, what's the play, opponent? I'm imagining you're gonna go ahead and plus the Teferi on me, block with the Gilded Goose, but... Beanstalk Giant. Oh. The adventure mechanic really does kind of remind me of Suspend, just in the casting it from exile kind of way. Makes me wish we had some interaction for it like we did for Suspend back in the day with Pull from Eternity. Right, so I think my opponent disconnected here. I hope they get back before they lose, because they're in a pretty good state right now, and I don't want to get the win that way. I prefer to, you know, enjoy the game here, instead of just get the free win, despite what some of my previous deck choices might tell you. Just enjoy doing broken things. That's a shame. That's a damn shame. I'm gonna wait a while to give them some time to get back. I'm not gonna wait too long though for the sake of video, so I'm gonna say 5, 4, 3, 2, hope you're back, opponent. Alright, so here we are just going to kill the Teferi. I think we can get away with that one. Alright, do not want to tap like that. Kill the goose. Put Sadness on the stack because we just used a Mortify on the Gilded Goose. Kill Teferi.
Suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
And I'm gonna go ahead and lose a little bit of value here by deploying the Blood Operative, exiling the Teferi because I very much do not want them to mutate some random nonsense onto there and have access to, you know, a Teferi that I have to deal with in a way besides drafting. There goes the Golos. And there's another Teferi. Ugh.
You show remorse, I'll show respect.
Oh, there we go.
That's more like it.
No, I'm more than happy for that play. Not sure what we want to jock there. Pretty sure it wasn't Davriel though. Alright, let's go ahead and clear the current board. And pass the turn on back to them. Next turn I suppose we want, depending on their deployment. First, another Golos. I was gonna say we want to land so we can bell hunt Davriel, but with a Golos out, we really just want a way to not have a Golos out. One on top, that is not something I want to see.
This might be a bad idea.
I somehow doubt that. There, buddy, Teferi. So here... I think I'm just going to deploy my Seraph of the Scales and plan on giving it Death Touch. I don't think we can afford to just take 12. Yeah. So we'll deploy Seraph. Deploy Seraph. I pronounced both of those wrong there. And wish we'd been able to also Agonizing Remorse. Resolve their Golos. And let's see, that's basically game. Got no reason to give it any abilities. I think we're gonna double chump 12-12. There's a Tethys.
I've got it.
Alright. I don't think there's anything huge out of the yard they can do to me. Oh yeah, we definitely need another Tires Wrap here. So, with the plan of Kaya's Wrath, hitting Teferi for 1 so they can't bounce one more time isn't going to be enough to take 6 damage. There we go. And taking 12 just didn't seem reasonable there. Alright, so we failed on Kaya's Wrath. Pretty sure that means we're just dead. Doing a quick check here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at their hand, see what's going on with them. You know, help me be more aware in the future. Tethys, Cavalier. Oh, we were definitely not going to manage this one. Play a Bell Haunt. Give them the old GG. And let's move on to the next one. See if we can't do a little better there. Now, I've already got a few of these, but I always like to try and see if I can get a 750. 30 creatures. Oh, that's easy enough. Won't be with this deck, but I'll be able to get that off recording. Alright. What does the ranked matchup generator have for us now? Oh, it has a mulligan in store. Keep this one. Not playing against a companion deck, so the mold didn't hurt us as much as it could have. We've got some removal and some guys to deploy, so I don't think I'm going to want the Kai's Wrath. Could easily be wrong, but I guess that's just the hope. Because if we need to deploy it, we're going to need some serious luck. And I'd rather depend on our 3-drops when we don't know what we've got. Alright. Hopefully we're playing against some kind of aggressive creature deck in blue-red. Maybe it's Izzet Blitz. Nope. So in the off chance that they are a Phoenix deck, they'll be able to kill this eventually no matter what. This would be able to actually just exile a Phoenix, and I'm not sure they'd bring it back on the same turn. Also, you know, menace lifelink, so this will be able to live through swings. I'd like to deploy my Kunaros, Hound of Aetheros. Alright, I think that this card does matter for our opponent then. I'm not sure exactly what they're playing, but I always like it when cards actually do a thing. Alright, there we go. Oh, that's a shame. Normally we'd be ecstatic to draw our Ballista Bell Hunt, but in this case it doesn't exactly do anything. Right, so I think we're about to get Blitz of the Thunder Raptor, because they just got up to 3 cards in their yard. Yep, there we go. So I'll go ahead and deploy a Seraph of the Scales. Hope that this doesn't get blitzed at some point, because I'd like those tokens if it dies. Also like to draw flames so that I can deploy my Bell Hunt. Goblin Electrodancer. Into Discovery. I was actually partially hoping they'd discover, you know, the opposite of the land we wanted. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and hit him for 4 here. I was hoping they would hit the Phoenix there, and not be able to bring it back so we could deploy Blood Operative, but oof. So a little bit of a trick we could do is we could use the Heartless Act to still get our tokens, but I don't think that's worth it when we have the Electromancer that's going to threaten 2. Really just turbocharge what they're doing. I'm going to go ahead and kill their Electromancer. And minimum value Blood Operative. I hope they don't have a discard outlet, I suppose. As I passed right over the radical idea. Take action. And we're left with a 3/1 lifelinker. A little dragon hoarding pile there. We can race a 5/3, but that thing is going to grow quite drastically. That we cannot race. And of course we draw the Bell Haunt once it turns into a looting spell for them. Well, this is truly a shame. They're on the more controlling version. I'm going to go ahead and give it a swing here. Off chance that they block. I couldn't imagine them doing so, but you never know. Let's go ahead and fix their hand for them while deploying a threat and gaining some life. So as you can see, incredibly powerful card. I prefer it to the board where in the main you can be a little more all in on the aggressive plan. Just deal damage and get more free wins that way. Whereas I absolutely love having her out of the board because, as you can see, she's absurdly powerful. Could easily be wrong on that, but... oof. Alright, well, there's the Phoenix. I imagine we're going to see it coming back this turn, too. Yep, and the Phoenix is coming back. At least we know that the Riley is going to be staying put. Let's say blitz instead of a radical idea. We could be taking 13 here. Oof, and that was their first one too, huh? Maybe we'll get lucky and they'll deck themselves. Here comes the 3-2. Not what we wanted to draw, but get in for 3. We win the race with the Phoenix with just the operative. And we're going to keep the passage in hand because we have no card draw, sadly, to want to deploy it. Oh, they also have the Strike Dragon. Normally it's one or the other of those, and they have the Electromancer too. They're really creature heavy. Suppose they don't have the Drake then. Because when you can't play 20 creatures in that deck. It just wouldn't work. I suppose 16 would be the step up from what I typically play, and probably completely fine there. In all honesty, I've been debating trying the Electromancer in my build just because of how much it turbocharges everything you do. Right, so we are no longer winning the ground race. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to be more than happy to throw the Electromancer in front of the operative. Oh yeah, this is not a race we can win. So we want to draw Kaya's Wrath here, and we want to draw it basically this turn. You know, draw lands though. Those are still pretty playable. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at any other lines I should play too. Not that I really have many choices. Don't want no Cavalier. Don't want an Ethereal. Seraph wouldn't be bad. Yeah, it's basically just Kaya's Wrath here. Get a white source, we're pretty low on those. Yeah, swing to 1. Because we need to gain the life or we're dead. Pretty sure we're going to be dead anyway with how many cards they've drawn. They're probably just going to blitz the Radical. Or cast enough spells that the Sprite Dragon will kill us. In fact, that is already enough that the Sprite Dragon kills us. And they made it easy on us. Alright, so we did have outs in that game, we just didn't quite get there. No real changes I'd made to my play that time. Maybe I could have kept a different hand. But all in all, I think that the Izzet deck is just pretty powerful and not something that we built ours to contend with. Also, as I said, we really need a way to get some kind of card draw in here. But I want to see if the concept is good now before I start going deep and potentially just playing bad cards. Against Obosh again. Hopefully this isn't that 5-color Obosh. I'll keep this. Despite what I would like to do, I'm going to lead on the Temple of Silence. Look for a land, most likely. Land or a threat. And want to play the Temple first, so I can curve Agonizer Remorse. wanted anyway. Alright. So that is not the kind of matchup this is going to be. We're going to start looking for... They're hoping to draw, I suppose, removal. Alright, so, the way their deck operates, this card is absolutely absurd. Claim the Firstborn doesn't have too many targets in our deck. Scorpion Whisper Squad. I'll go ahead and take the Mayhem Devil. It represents the most problems. So if I play Davriel, do I even pick down? Yes, I do. Really wish I hadn't drawn a Shockland there. But hey. There we go.
Let's tidy up in there.
If this card gains us 2 life and takes a card out of our opponent's hand, it has already done its job. And if it doesn't, well, hey.
Loneliness can hurt.
All we really need to do in this kind of matchup with Davriel is use him to buy ourselves time to hit our more powerful cards. So here, I'm not sure if I'm going to want to just deploy the Kaya's Wrath or the Seraph. I think I'm going to try and slow down their clock here. And deploy the Kaya's Wrath. I'll deploy the Seraph next turn. And there's a chance that I even kill it with my own Cavalier of Dawn to get its trigger. Alright, so deploy Seraph. Deploy Taskland. Pass the turn on back. Heraldic Banner. Alright, let's go ahead. Yeah, let's attack there. Deploy Blast Zone. Deploy Cavalier. I will in fact destroy my Seraph. I don't really care about that. And there we go. So we managed to grow it by 1 power there, technically. As far as direct power on board goes. Which is why I, went ahead and killed my own creature there. I turned it into a 3/3 and got its trigger. Just trying to close out the game as quickly as I could against them before they get any kind of engine set up, because when a Catavan deck gets an engine going, you have a problem. Oof, on the play, against a Luris deck though, having the Kurunos and Wraths, yeah, I'm going to keep this because I'm playing against Luris. I'm 100% looking for a land, anything else is bottom. Alright, that's fine. Woohoo! I was expecting Catavan, but I got Dio instead. Don't tell me Dio isn't a little foxy. Alright, let's see. Probably taking 3. No? Oh, they're deploying another. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the planes here. Hope to draw more land. That is not, in fact, more land. I am tempted to deploy the Kurunos, just to try and... I'm going to deploy it. The plan with it right now is to force them to get a little more aggressive. The Luris in this deck is kind of just a complete plan B. It's not going to be as impactful as it would in some other matchups, and I am more than willing to trade here. Honestly, all I'm using this for right now is to try and get some of their threats off of the board to buy myself time. Because you can't really afford to dawdle if you're just going to get hit in the face for a humongous amount of damage with, what do you call it? Can't remember its name, the Helix, oh, I thought that had Death Touch. Oops. Alright. That was a misplay. Alright, so I think that one cost us the game pretty handily there. Otherwise, I'd have let it live, swung back at them for 3, and then got rid of their, stinger. So, the best turn of events for us this turn would be if they deployed their Lurrus, played their Fox, and we drew a land and got to wrap them. Our best draw is still a land, so we can wrap them. I'm gonna go ahead and pass the turn before deciding what to kill. If they cycle now, I think the Fox is a bigger threat. It does repeated damage for every cycle as opposed to one-shot damage. Honestly, though, I don't think we really have much of a chance to win here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the Fox. But I'm pretty sure we're just dead here. Okay, 6. Alright, land anytime. Any land but Blaststone. Alright, and then they'll cycle on our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, stay alive however we can until the very end of it. I think our only bet is just hoping they don't have any removal or any cyclers, that they're just holding lands now. At which point, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. These represent a potential for more damage. I've got to deal with them. And I'm pretty sure that one just kills us. Yep, and we are dead, so we'll go ahead and give them the game. I think we had a pretty good shot in that matchup if we had drawn the 4th hand. Having not done so, pretty easy toss there. Alright, so let's go ahead and play one more. It could be said that I shouldn't have kept that hand, and I could very much be convinced of that. But I think if we were playing against a Cat Oven deck, that we'd have very, very much liked to have kept a hand with that. Here, the Orphan Guard. That means there's probably going to be some blue-white control deck. Agonizing Remorse is good. The rest of it is not so much. Card advantage is pretty important in these matchups, which makes me lean more into wanting to keep this. I'm going to go ahead and keep it, and hope that stopping at the fairy will be good enough. Blue-red as well. Red-green. Should have led on the flames there, but that's incredibly minimal. Are they actually doing it for its tribal synergies? Well, let's see if we can snab an arrow. Wait, does that even work with that? Whew! Alright, what's this one do? Sure, Factor Enchantment, Anti-Cat Oven, Card Draw, and Questing Beast. So I think we're gonna go ahead and take... That'll draw them a decent number of cards later. But I don't want to deal with the questing beast. And we don't really have a way to deal with it coming down next turn. And starting, that card draw engine instead. So I'm going to go ahead and take it. It's just a powerful card. Alright, opponent. What are you debating? Are you going to turn your Grazer into a 4/4? Nope, just deploy it 4/4. Don't believe Gravehate is going to matter in this matchup. So I'm going to deploy the Blood Operative with full intentions on just using it to get in a swing or two. At some point here. Could also stop something to mutate onto the Grazer if it's small enough. Oh, fires! Uh-oh. Alright, that is very bad for us. Something I was very much not expecting. I'm gonna go ahead and say no blocks on the trample threat. And I'm going to deploy the Bellhawk. I don't think I'm really into attacking here. In case they have something to blink, say a Thassa with the blue, and they attack with the Karuga, we will go ahead and double block there. Just to avoid the nightmare scenario. Whew. Alright, their team is large, and unless I can... Yeah. In case that blue is actually for something. And we will get to keep one of our creatures, I believe. No, we will not. There's no way we could. So I'm going to go ahead and block there. Hope we draw Kaya's Wrath again. If we do, we're in really good shape. If not, well, I say really good shape, but I mean we'll be able to actually deploy something. We're not really. Alright, so not drawing it, I'm pretty sure just put us dead. Yeah, alright. No problem. And just so that I don't leave you with only this meme, gotta make sure my viewers get their daily dose of izzet blitz. Let's see. Yes. Making sure I didn't have another one. So let's see how this goes. Pretty sure playing all of these meme decks in the ranked room is not exactly the way to go about climbing the ranks, but hey, that's not what I'm about right now. Also, being a good player would definitely help climbing ranked. So, got two problems there. Opponent goes first on Karuga, means fires, that means we need to be aggressive. And can't think of a better way to be aggressive than double Strike Dragon. One for pre-wrath, one for post. Alright, let's see what we can see. Don't want the fourth land quite yet. So I am going to go ahead and play into their turn 3 Wrath, because they cannot always have it. And forcing them to deploy that would mean there's no Teferi, and no Teferi makes me quite happy. Alright, I'd much rather have a Teferi come down. Hello, Sprite Dragon. Hello, Shockland. Sprite Dragon. And do we even want to opt? Did I goof up there? No. No need to opt yet, so yeah, that was a misplay there, but we definitely wanted to before the end of the turn. You know what, actually? I don't care about the fairy right now. I'll deal with it next turn, because as long as this is fires, the worst they could do is try and kill our guy with triggers on the stack. And if they want to deploy the fires, they cannot even do that. So they might try and, get us with the instant speed board wipe, and we can try and respond by pumping to larger than, they can do that too. So I'm going to go ahead. Problem being that we can't do that if we don't start with the Teferi attack, so we'll send it there. There we go. So they don't have it, so I'm going to deploy the Winged Verge. Get some card draw going. And I think I'd rather hold up the possibility of pumping it out of 3 damage burn spell range in response to it. Could just give us a little bit of a tempo advantage there. Cavalier of Flames. Alright, so here I'm going to Thrill of Possibility, pitch the island. There we go. Next turn might be Sprite Dragon Shock Shock, or Winged Word Shock. Alright, we're discarding Elspeth Conquers. Ooh. Alright, so that's pretty good. So let's see, do we have lethal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we might. So let's see. Going to go Cathartic Reunion. Discard Arclight Sprite Dragon. And then we get to go shock the opponent, which is a thing we're doing no matter which line we take. Oh yeah, we have him dead. So for a second there I was imagining that the Phoenix would not be coming back. But it did. And there you have it. Raking Claws does a lot of damage. And fires without a Wrath into fires is quite beatable. Alright, and just for some variety's sake, let's go ahead and, which deck should I play for you all now? I'll try out the Wreck deck. You'll have to guess at the list, though. No, I'll show it to you after the match. Should have done it free, but I can't edit, and, well, want to give you guys some content. And gals. I keep doing that one. Alright, so, I'm a fan of this hand. Against players. A little shaky, but as long as they're not the cycling deck, it won't be too fast for us. As long as we draw a 4th land, we get to Wilderness Wreck, Shark Typhoon in the same turn. Alright, so let's lead on Steam Vents. That gives them the least information. Breeding Pool will tell them our play next turn. Alright, so a Swamp. And a Whisper Squad. Alright. So they're one of the 2 color variants. I'm not sure which one yet. I have no reason to hold back on the Growth Spiral, so I'm going to deploy the Steam Vents. trying to save myself a little bit of time with Wilderness Wreck. This deck is, you know, quite click intensive. Alright, I'm a fan of Wreck into Wreck. So just the traditional black-red lures we're up against. Nice, the Ral's Outburst. I think I'd rather deploy that and have bigger Wreck turns. Or bigger Typhoon turns. I think that's a little premature on the GG there. I'm not going to return that one. That one feels a little bit early. So the Outburst is just some tech I've seen lying around. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and respond to that. Just so that I actually get the card draw off of this, otherwise they sack it in response and I don't. Yeah, I'll take the Storm Trap. I'm a fan of not dying to a board full of creatures. Another Whisper Squad. Another Foster's Intervention. As much as I'd like to... Oh, and the opponent scoops it up. From what they've seen, I don't think they should have quite scooped there. This does give me an opportunity to show you the list before I go ahead and jump back into another one. Alright, so what are we working with here? Got 2 Omen of the Sea, just as kind of a little bit of filtering. 3 Scorching Dragonfire as a way to deal with threats from lures that just need to be exiled. Also with Phoenixes and, you know, just removal is good. And there are a lot of things in this format that don't stay dead if you don't exile them. 4 Growth Spiral, kind of self-explanatory in a deck trying to resolve a 4-drop as soon as possible. I want another Foster's Intervention, and I'm very close to the next wild card needed for it, so soon you'll be seeing me playing a slightly more active build. 2 Brazen Borrower, kind of a catch-all. It's good against decks that you need removal against, and it's good against decks with fires in them. Just kind of a way to interact while also applying pressure. Uro is just, you know, Uro. I need more, don't have the wild cards once again. Mystical Dispute is fairly good in the format. There's a lot of blue spells you want to counter, and 1 mana counter spell is 1 mana mana leak is pretty good. 3 mana leak isn't too far off from just a cancel, so it's still alright. Storm's Wrath to deal with large boards and with lots of planeswalkers. Being able to deal with a Teferi that is kicked up is very, very clutch in this deck. Considering Teferi is normally a way to, you know, shut down your wreck mana. Ral's Outburst, kind of another cantrip. I saw the tech, I decided to test it out. So far I've been impressed. I could be wrong on playing it. 4 Sharknado, because giant sharks that cantrip, or a spell you can honestly just play at some point, is pretty good. And Expansion Explosion for the combo kill. I believe I'm on 28 lands in this build. Let's go ahead and check. Yep, I'm on 28 lands, because you always want your growth spirals to hit, and you need to hit big mana. You also have a lot of digs, soon I'll have even more. Playing the Triomes, the Shocks, and I want another Castle Vantress, but once again, you can see my wildcard situation. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into what will likely be the last game before our regularly scheduled meme deck at the end here. I'll go ahead and get a drink of water. My mouth is fairly dry. Gigantha Wellspring. I don't remember that one. Oh, I wish I did. It looks bluish on one half over here, but I'm gonna keep and hope that Mystical Dispute is good. Nope. Oh, it's the generic one, the one that can go in basically anything. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and assume I'm not gonna need the Mystical Dispute on 2 and lead on a tap land. Hope I don't need to bounce anything onto and play another. Seems that Dispute is still bugged and that it stays on 1 until you cast it. Another Dispute. Yeah, I'll go ahead and shock. This way I'll be able to Uro, keep up my Mystical Dispute, and ramp up a little. And end the turn. I really wonder what deck they're playing. This card can go in basically anything that the others can't. You know what? I'm fine with that. I'm completely fine with them Uroing. Countering it doesn't really do anything, and I'd rather save my disputes for more key plays from them. I'm legitimately wondering if they're a Golos deck, though. Alright, so here I think if they deploy an actual threat, we're going to Brazen Borrower twice, both modes. Whew. Alright, or we're going to Mystical Dispute the Fires of Invention. I have no desire to allow that. I'll go ahead and get another red source here. Alright. Tap land, and pass it on over to them. We have another dispute if needed. Alright, so I don't think they're a Golos deck now. But it does make me wonder why they're on this one. They could get back their fires with that. Not something I'm keen to let them have. And here I think instead of trying to hold on to Brazen, we're going to just go ahead and deploy it as a flying threat. And start blocking our opponent. There we go. So, end of turn. Alright, fires is good. End of turn, we're going to go ahead and Shark Typhoon. Oh yeah, we are definitely going to Shark Typhoon for 4. That way we're able to kill Teferi and keep up the Scorching Dragon Fire for ourselves later. Yep. And that is just my girlfriend entering the room. Pay no mind, Internet. Alright, there we go. And we're going to go ahead and get a Flying Shark. And tell Teferi where he can shove off to. The graveyard, Teferi. Alright, so, as long as we keep hitting land drops, I'm not in too much of a rush to fire these expansion explosions off. Doing it for, just 2 isn't the most exciting. I might end up just deploying a Brazen Borrower. After their... Alright, so that's pretty annoying, actually. Gonna go ahead and bounce their bounce their fires. This will allow them to redeploy it, but they won't be able to cast another spell if they do. Growth Spiral is fine. Alright, so now they won't, or they'll be able to deploy it and still, keep up the spell count for the turn. But at least now we do get to deal with their second Teferi here. Goodbye, Shark. So if they have a... I guess they don't even have to deploy the fires right now if they have a removal spell. At which point we do get to Scorching Dragonfire the Teferi.
Only time will tell.
I will not stand for such violence.
I'm fine with them dropping the Uro. So let's go ahead and take out the Teferi. And here, how many cards in their yard? 2. So we could team up Storm's Wrath and Dragonfire to deal with the Uro. We could expansion the Scorching Dragonfire, which is a little more mana efficient. 7. I'm going to go ahead and Growth Spiral first, see if we can hit a, what do you call it, the mana doubler. Alright, we didn't, so let's go ahead. We don't need to full control, it'll automatically on this one. And we will expansion our Scorching Dragonfire. Goodbye, Uro. Not exactly what we wanted to use it for, but we're not about to allow them to draw 2 cards and gain 3 life a turn. I'll have to stick with the one from their draw step. So I imagine we're going to see the fires come back down this turn. And I'm wondering what else we see. Ooh, Mizzet Reborn. Alright. That's scary. I'd like a Wilderness Reclamation now. Not exactly what I asked for, but hey. We do have the answer for the Teferi. I'm going to go ahead and try and hit us a land drop here with this expansion for... You know what? We're not going to block, so I'm going to go ahead and attack and see if we can just trade for this Mizzet. There we go. 3 to them. 3 cards to us. Alright. Let's go ahead and play out the Stomping Grounds. Got enough cards in the yard that we can Uro when we want to.
Let's slow this down. Here goes nothing.
No problem with a Teferi picking up. Float card there. Go ahead and grab a land before we run out. We don't exactly have the most... I think I can grab an island here. No need to. We have the least red. Let's go ahead and grab a bit more. And let's attack them with the Brazen. Alright, so we get to clear out the board here. And play a Storm's Wrath.
Time for plan B. As soon as I think of one.
Hold on. Because it came in at... Oh, it comes in at 4, that's right. Alright. Still no problem here. We'll deploy the Wilderness Rex. And we can Shark Typhoon for a lot. Goodbye, Uro. That is fine.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
So we can Shark Typhoon for 7. Take out the Teferi with a Scorching Dragonfire. Untap. I have quite a bit. Whew, Garuk. Alright, so he doesn't destroy enchantments. That is what I care about.
You're not scared of dogs, are you?
So we're gonna go ahead and make a big shark. Alright. Okay. Alright, so not 7 mana, 7 is X. Trying to remember how I counted there. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and kill the Teferi.
We will meet again.
Swing 7 damage at them. Because if they take it, then we win this turn. They've correctly identified that taking 7 is big, big ouch. Alright, and let's put the stop in our step. Red, blue, mana, mana, red, blue, blue, blue. And then we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So let's go ahead and 14 them, shall we? Yep, that is correctly everything. There we go. Now what do we want to discard? Anything not named Expansion Explosion, correct? Oh, did we not even draw one? Whew. That is, unanticipated. Go ahead and get rid of a dispute. Both of them, actually. This is pretty outside of the range of when it's good. Keep the Shark Typhoon. I'll bin the Growth Spiral. And the beast. Oh, wrong card. Trying to get rid of the Steam Vents there. Alright. Yeah, we've only used 2. We have 4, 19 cards left. So I believe that we can Thassa's Intervention for lethal.
Looks like you're
By which I mean find an Expansion Explosion and then kill them. Can we still? Nope. Now we would be 1 short. Well, you can't look through our entire deck, but you still see a very large chunk of it. Oh,
sorry I'm late.
alright, so here's where that misplay is very, very punishing. Or the misclick, I should say. Not the end of the world. We can do some shenanigans with our blast zone to deal with the Teferi. Had we only drawn it. Alright, let's start with Omen of the Sea. There we go. And unless I am very much mistaken, this is very much lethal. So let's go ahead and put, yep, 2 counters. Auto pay. Blast zone is up to 3. Put it on stack. Blow it up. Resolve.
Matter of time.
Red. Blue. Honestly does not matter. Red. blue, 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 resolve, and that is for, let's go for a little more than 8, let's go for max. Let's go for 17, I believe. No, I think that was, yeah. Yes, I'm sure I want them to draw cards, I don't want to die. So I counted total mana there instead. But, there we have it, a victory. And there we see how, like I was saying, Teferi isn't the biggest problem, but you do have to find ways to get around it. I misremembered Teferi though, and those Storm Drafts are not looking quite as good. I guess they kill a down-tick Teferi. But yeah, I'm gonna probably change that up. And thank you everybody for watching. I hope you had a good time, and please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.